The UAE has just come out with a new retirement visa, which is actually good and it's not good. I'm going to go over it with you. If you're looking to try to get citizenship there and you're trying to use it with this visa, I would not do that. I would pick, there's other countries that you can get citizenship after several years of residency. You're looking at around 30 years before you're able to apply for the citizenship and passport in the UAE. And, there are other problems too there, which I'm going to go over with you a little bit here too. Also, if you get a chance, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Number 1 is hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And don't forget to hit that notification bell next to that subscribe button. And number 2 is, I'd like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and ask for some help. All right, now, like I said, the UAE is a very difficult place to get citizenship. You're looking at 30 years before you can apply for the passport. You're going to have to learn Arabic pretty fluently. And, it's... they will give you dual citizenship under one option, and that is if you are a person of special talent and the government calls you, you don't call them. In other words, the top people with the government, they notice you, they notice that you're some special talent. They literally pick the phone up and they call you, and they will grant you the citizenship and passport, okay? But you don't have to relinquish your other passport. But the chances of that happening, folks, is like it's like hitting a bird in the moon. You're just not going to do it. It's just if you do have that special talent, though, fine, go to the UAE. But again, you're not approaching the government. The government approaches you. Okay, this is how you actually get that passport. Unless you've got some sort of in-person with the government, you could approach that person. Maybe it's a lawyer that knows the top people with the country. But there's so many easier ways to actually get a good passport, and I just wouldn't go this route. It doesn't have an income tax there. There's no capital gains tax, no estate inheritance tax there. But there are some other things I did other videos on that are probably more negative than a positive there. Okay, I lived there for 5 years. Okay, so and I'll probably get some darts thrown at me this, but I'm going to tell you, I lived there for 5 years. The country is not a free country. I don't care what anybody says, okay? Whenever you don't have a rule of law by voting, in other words, democracy, you're not going to have a free country. Is it as bad as Saudi Arabia? No, I can tell you. But you got to be really bad to be as bad as Saudi Arabia, okay? That's another story in itself, okay, on Saudi Arabia. I would never go and live in Saudi Arabia. It's not as bad as North Korea, moving there, but it would be on the last of my totem pole as far as places to live. I know somebody, I'll just tell you a story real quick while we're on this. I got a friend that's living, it's a female friend that's living in Saudi Arabia now. She works 7 days a week. She makes $500 a month. She's a cleanup lady there. She cannot go outside. If she goes outside any place, she can be arrested. She has to have a male guardian to go anywhere, okay? And she has to be covered up. It's folks, it's a hellhole. You don't want to go there. Okay, it's the worst place that I think any. You might say, "Well, I'm a male." It's not going to affect folks. When you got laws like that, you don't want to move there. Trust me. Okay, but let's get back to the UAE. But UAE is freer than Saudi Arabia. But I'm going to tell you something. It's a close second. I would not be going there and buying tons of properties. I know people personally that have had assets confiscated there for almost for nothing. Okay, don't be going there and buying loads of properties there. It's not a free country. It's not an elected democracy there. You've got a ruler in each district, or in Sharjah you got a ruler. You got one in Abu Dhabi. You got one also in the UAE. And if you get in a lawsuit with the national there, forget it. You won't win. Just let him take your money. Okay, that's the freedom you got there. Okay. But anyway, as the permanent amendment that came out, if the retiree fulfills one of the following criteria, you'll be eligible for retirement residency there. Okay, now the criteria are a single property of more than, you have to invest 1 million dirhams. If you want to get the US dollar figure, just divide that by 3.653. The evaluation should be carried out by the related entity in each emirate, or a bank deposit of no less than 1 million dirhams. And again, like I said, you take 3.653 and you divide it into that. Or an active income of no less than 180,000 dirhams per year. Now, Sheikh Mohammed said that the end goal of the policy is to promote the productivity and flexibility of government work, thus achieving better results. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, Prime Minister of the UAE, and ruler of Dubai, made the announcement on his official Twitter account. But like I said, folks, it's not a free country. I'll be honest with you, other than the income tax, that's probably your freest part there if you compare it with the United States and some of these other high tax countries. But I'll tell you something, folks, there are a lot of things that are freer in the U.S. than they are in the UAE. Just take the tax part out. At least the USA, you've got elected officials, and you can say things without being held accountable for it. You do have freedom of speech in the U.S. You do not have that in the UAE. I'll give you an example, which I did on another video, because some people did not see that other video. When Qatar had this problem with the UAE, they had sanctions against Qatar. They actually barred them all from actually flying into the UAE. It was a spat over Iran and other matters. They put something, actually it was in a newspaper, and the cover story read basically, if you said anything publicly against what the sanctions were that the UAE had against Qatar, it was a 500,000 dirham fine and 15 years in prison. Okay, now if you want to go to a place like that you just got to keep your mouth shut. Okay. And if you can deal with that, and there are other things too. I got other videos on the UAE. I'm telling you, I ran into a Filipina that was in right before the COVID-19 happened. She was a nurse in the hospital there. She just got let out of prison in the UAE for, they claimed that she had sex outside of marriage. And she said that they just suspected it. She just got out of prison from it. Now, they have made some changes on that. How strict they are now, you would have to talk to a lawyer there. But folks, it's not a free country, okay? So if you're going there and you're getting residency there, it will take you forever to get the passport, and it's not a free country. There are a lot of free countries out there you can get that have territorial tax systems, pure tax havens, elected, the officials are elected there. It's freedom. You got freedom of speech. You don't have to worry about your stuff being confiscated because of something you said. There are a lot better choices in the UAE. It's got a good passport as far as visa-free travel, but you're going to have to relinquish all your other passports. Folks, whenever you got a country that makes you do that, makes you give up all your other passports, they're doing it for one reason. They want to control your ass. Don't go to countries like that. I'm telling you, you got to stay away from them. There are exceptions to the rule. Panama doesn't allow dual citizenship. It has freedom of speech. But there are a lot of countries that don't. And I'll be honest with you, Singapore doesn't have freedom of speech. You think it does? Go there as a foreigner and start talking about the government there, and do it over and over again. You'll probably find out real quick your ass will be thrown in jail. It's not totally free, but I'll tell you this: Singapore is a lot better place than the UAE. If I had to pick a choice between the UAE and Singapore, I would much rather have residency in Singapore. It's a lot freer place. Anyway, folks, if you got questions or comments, put them below, and also I would like to hear from you. If you want new videos as they come out automatically, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here. You'll get them automatically. We got over 500 videos to come out. And if you want help personally, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.